What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2016 career mode, episode number 20 today for season 2 at the Brazilian Grand Prix. If you did miss the last episode at Mexico, it was uploaded on Saturday, so do go check it out. You might have missed it because usually I only upload these on Monday and Thursdays, but I surprised you guys with a third episode on Saturday. But for this Grand Prix and the next one, the finale, I'm going to do just what a lot of you guys were saying in the comment section of the USA Grand Prix. I'm going to be starting at the back of the grid from P22, and basically we're going to be doing a from last to question mark challenge effectively in these last two career mode races. So going through practice, just getting used to the circuit, just getting a little bit of practice on higher fueled, and then we'll go straight into the race. So let's go to the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So taking a look at the race strategy ahead of the formation lap as per usual, although something that's not usual is us starting in P22. Because of that, we're going to be starting on the hard tyre, the hardest available compound to us here at Brazil, and indeed of all the dry tyres. So we're going to be hopefully going as long as we can on that first stint, then going on to a set of medium tyres, skipping out the soft tyres entirely because we're opting for another set of mediums at the end, although you can see on the indicator there on the session forecast that there is going to be some rain at the end, so we might not even have to use that third set of dry tyres. Hopefully we can stretch this first stint out and the medium tyres enough that we can go straight onto the intermediates like we've done quite a few times in this season so far. Now, obviously, because we didn't qualify, let's take a look at the starting grid, just show you the very awesome pole position, I guess you could say, because Felipe Massa getting pole position at his home Grand Prix here in front of the Brazilian crowd. Probably absolutely amazing scenes for him. You can see Raikkonen there in second place and Verstappen in third. So a bit of a mixed up front order grid. Jensen doing pretty well. But we go to 5 red lights from P22 here. Last on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 5 red lights are out and we're underway on the hard tyres. Getting a pretty decent start actually compared to Carlos Sainz, who bogs down on his medium tyres. Quite a difference in tyre selection up ahead. We've got a lot of soft tyre runners as well. We go down the inside of about, I would say, 5 cars there. We're up into P15 now from what was P21. Perez and Vettel go slow. Vettel has had a really poor qualifying there. He's down battling Perez here for 13th place, and he's had a really poor exit. Goes side by side with the Mexican. We go on the left side of him. We go down the inside of him and Sergio Perez, and we get up into 13th place. That's been an absolute stonking start for us as we're right behind the Renault now as we go up towards the hill into Sector 2, getting slipstream of Palmer down the inside, hit the curb a little bit. Nice move, squeeze him out, and we're up into P12. And now all these cars going so slow, a bit bunching up here behind Rosberg. You also got the other Renault of Magnussen, and so we're up even further. And now on the exit of the corner, we've got a brilliant exit off this corner, trying to maybe look at Daniel Ricciardo, make a really audacious diving move. Ricciardo caught napping, leaves the room open, and that is pretty much the best lap one I've probably ever had on this game. We're up into P8 from P22 in not even an entire lap, 2 sectors more like it. That is absolutely, that's been a blistering start. And some of you guys were worried that that is going to really hinder me in the championship for the constructors. Well, I think we're doing pretty okay at the moment. As we cross the line, you can see up ahead there's some fighting, even more fighting. Hamilton goes side by side with Grosjean, just showing again the Haas car doing really amazing. Nice to see. Grosjean goes side by side. Hamilton, oh god, they make contact. Grosjean squeezes Hamilton a bit too much, probably for Hamilton's liking. We go around the outside of the Frenchman, down this slipstream of Lewis Hamilton. Can we try and make a move? We're going to dart the left-hand side of the circuit and try and make a move down the inside. It's going to be close. Hamilton just leaves enough room. He goes a little bit wide onto the curbing. We squeeze him out, and we have got that position. We are up into what will be 6th place, I think, at the moment. Absolutely crazy scenes. Lap 2. You know, only the first sector of lap 2, and we're up into 6th place. That is insane. You can see up ahead also, there's a bit of a train forming behind, I think, 2nd place, man. I think whoever's in first has got away a little bit, but there is a little bit of a train ahead of us with Bottas right at the end of it. And all these guys on soft tyres. I'm on the hard tyres, remember, so 2 compounds harder and I'm keeping up pace with him. You can see I just crossed the line, set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Obviously, it's then immediately beaten by Hamilton, but just showing we have really good pace. And look at this. Raikkonen in P2 is pushing Verstappen in P3. Out off the circuit, they go slowly. Button and Bottas go slowly. Look at this. Ridiculous. We go around the outside of 3 cars. A 4th car down the straight with DRS wide open against Verstappen. We get it into 2nd place of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's only the 4th lap. This is absolutely insane. Insanity. Legit. Probably the best start I'm going to ever have and could ever wish for on F1 2016. That is just insane, insane. On Ultimate AI, we've gone from P22 to P2 in a span of about 4.5 laps there, because we just go into the halfway point of the circuit. We defend from Verstappen, and we are still in 2nd place. We cross the line into lap 5. You can see Verstappen right behind me on soft tyres, still trying to pressurize me, so he's going to be a little bit faster than me, you would think so. But Massa, you can see, he's got a really good lead. We get a bit of a tank slapper as we get caught on the curb a little bit, so here comes Verstappen, but we're going to defend to the inside of the line. He's going to have DRS. You can see on the bottom right, we're on lower fuel at the moment, but we have to do our best to defend from Verstappen, keep it in standard for now. We push Verstappen wide a little bit. That allows our teammate Button to actually close up behind us in 3rd place. That's really good. So at this point, my tactical mind switched on, and I thought, okay, we'll let Button through here, kind of let him get a bit of a buffer to maybe improve his position, because I think it looks like I definitely have the pace to maybe even challenge definitely for a good podium this race. So I think I'll let Button through. I have good pace. I'll catch up to Button eventually later on in the Grand Prix. So now we move on to lap 7. Everyone has made their first pit stop, because you can see I'm in 1st place, and Massa has already pitted. You can see some people behind me or only now coming to the pits, like Verstappen and Raikkonen there on the soft tyres. Actually, Raikkonen stays put, actually, so it's just Verstappen staying out. So Raikkonen going quite long in this Grand Prix, the longest of all the runners in this Grand Prix so far. 8 laps on the soft tyres, so Raikkonen going for a bit of a different strategy. You can see Gutierrez there, started on the medium tyres, going well in 3rd place now, but here we go. Raikkonen tries around the outside. Theoretically, we should have pretty good pace against Raikkonen, because we are on hard tyres, so his worn softs will be pretty much just as fast as my pretty okay hard tyres at this point. We're still going side by side through that entire complex there on the left-hander. Eventually, Raikkonen gives up there the position and just lets me go into 1st place once more as we go into the S section, but we are looking very, very good. But you can see it's overcast. The rain is definitely coming towards the end, so this is exactly what we want to try and do, though. Get clean air, stretch out these hard tyres, as I mentioned, trying to go as long as we can on the 1st stint and the 2nd stint to try and go straight onto those medium tyres. But we're on to lap 9, and the moment you can see Massa setting the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So Massa doing really well this home Grand Prix. He's into a net 1st position in 3rd place there, because me and Gutierrez have not made a pit stop yet. But Gutierrez doing well to keep up with me in 2nd place there. But by the time we get onto lap 15, quite a few laps later, we're still in 1st place, still taking these tyres on. You can see on the bottom right, my pit window's opened up. Now you can see Bottas is in 2nd, Raikkonen's 3rd, because Massa went onto another set of soft tyres. He went soft. So that means Massa's definitely doing a 3-stop, whereas maybe Bottas and Raikkonen are doing a 2-stop, because they've gone onto the hard tyres, the same tyre as me now. So they're getting a little bit longer in the Grand Prix. So Massa's fallen back. Bottas in 2nd place now, but in general, Williams doing really well. But as we continue on through the laps, from lap 15 to lap 18 to 19, I was still in 1st place. There was a sizable gap to Bottas, because obviously I have yet to make one entire pit stop, whereas Bottas has made 1 pit stop. The likes of Massa have made 2 pit stops. But you can see on the track, it is getting a lot wetter already. It's already starting to rain quite early on. Now, because of the indicator, I thought the rain would have come maybe like, I don't know, like 10 laps to go, and we would have switched on to inters. But this is coming quite a bit earlier than I thought. 36 laps in the Brazilian Grand Prix. So I thought lap 26 would be the kind of time when the rain comes down. But we're already on, like, lap 18-ish, and the rain is already starting to come down pretty significantly. Although saying that, though, the rain is coming down, but it's still good enough for the hard tyres and dry tyres in general. So a lot like Brazil 2012, you remember, Button and Hamilton and Hultman were going around in the top 3 there when it was pretty much looking like it was time for inters. They're all still going on the kind of hard tyre at Brazil. So the same thing is sort of happening here with us today. You can see, though, it is getting quite tricky now, because we're now on lap 22. You've joined us 4 laps later from that little period I showed you in the replay cameras. So now it's getting to the time where it will be inters. But for a good, like, from lap 16 to lap 22, it started to rain that entire time. It looked just like this, but the hard tyres were still doing fine. But now you can clearly see I'm getting a bit of oversteer here and there. So it is time for me, personally, I think, to come in for inters. I think the AI behind us might be coming in a little bit later, actually. Might be going a little bit longer on their hard tyres. But you can see the lack of grip on the hards there as I enter the pit lane, unable to kind of slow the car down in a straight line. We crash out the kind of polystyrene boards. But yeah, the pace was amazing on the hard tyres. You could see in that panning shot of the replay cameras and on that little clip before on lap 22 that no one was around me. We were all on the same kind of, you know, hard tyres, tricky conditions, but no one was around me. I would have thought at that point, after 22 laps, never mind the damp conditions, 22 laps on the hard tyres, someone would have caught me. But no, I had some amazing pace, not to blow my own trumpet, but some great pace on the hard tyres that no one was catching me. And so we've come out just ahead of Sebastian Vettel on the inters. You can see we're struggling quite a bit with oversteer straight off the curbing there, but you can see Vettel is on a set of dry tyres. I'm not too sure what compound it is yet. We'll see just now. So he's on hards. Everyone's on hards. You can see there's a Manica up ahead who's been lapped, but Vettel has closed up right up to me with the proximity error. So at this point, I was panicking a little bit, like, oh God, have I made the wrong call here? Have I gone a little bit too early? Is it literally going to be like Brazil, where in 2012, where it was really a case of it looked so ready for full wets almost, and it was still dry tyres? But you can see visually I'm closing up to the manor, and now off that last corner, look in the mirrors, Vettel nowhere to be seen. So literally just as I came out of the pits, maybe it was a case of kind of the tyres having to acclimatise to the conditions out of the pit lane, but now climbing up the hill, it is very, very clear I've made the right call. We're on the right tyre, on the right, intermediate tyres, and we got DRS. DRS still enabled, surprisingly, but I think it probably will be disabled soon. Where you cross the line, closing up on the Manica of Verline. We go around the outside of him into turn 1, a little bit wide because we have to give him the room. But as we come through, DRS disabled, and that is pretty much the indicator that, yes, it is time for the intermediate. So we have made the absolute right call. We're still in second place though, remember. So we haven't even have to make up many positions, because by the time we come through on lap 24, Raikkonen is going to make his pit stop, and so we'll calmly come across the line on lap 25 and we'll take the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix once more. So now we're going intermediates till the end. So now it's the question of what's the pace going to be like on inters. So we had the pace on dry tyres, on hard tyres, clearly over these guys on softs and mediums, but what will the pace on inters be like? Well, I can answer that for you. We move across the last lap of the Grand Prix onto lap 36. We're still in first place, and if you look at the mini-map on the bottom left, you can see Raikkonen nowhere to be seen. We've had some excellent pace on the inters, just as we did on the hard tyres. We're closing up to some lap cars up ahead. You can see the spray in front of us, but now it's getting a little bit tricky, not going to lie. The last two laps have been quite tricky. You can see skating around there, a big moment of oversteer, opposite lock on the left-hander, again in 6th gear, losing the back end. So if the race continued on for maybe a few more laps, it definitely would probably be time for full wets, but we're going to struggle through on this lap. I'm going to keep it with you guys. Just so you can see the bit of a kind of a nice little bit of driving, just struggling through the final lap of this Grand Prix, just soaking it in really, because let's just pause for a second and just kind of solidify what we've done here today. We have gone from P22 to P1 on Ultimate AI at the Brazilian Grand Prix in a changeable condition race. This has been an absolute wonderful Grand Prix. This has been, I just can't, I have no words for it. I didn't think I was going to get anywhere near the podium, to be honest, here at Brazil, but the pace on the hard tyres, that's what did it, was unbelievable, especially around lap 20 to lap 22. Those final two laps, insane how much I was able to keep ahead of those guys, and that is what has won us the race today. So we come across the line to win the Brazilian Grand Prix from last place on the grid. Would you believe it? Guys, smash that like button for an absolute awesome racing result. Last to first challenge completed at the Brazilian Grand Prix on Ultimate AI, and even with some rain. That is absolutely awesome for us. And not only will the mechanics be celebrating first place in the Brazilian Grand Prix, they'll also be spraying the champagne later for becoming Constructors Champions, because you're about to see at the end with the race results and the standings that Red Bull mathematically cannot overhaul us now at Abu Dhabi. So with that win, we have made McLaren world champions. Literally, the team are Constructors Champions now. So we became the Drivers' champion at USA, and now we've secured it for the actual team, the Constructors, where all the money is in Formula 1 for the teams. We've got them the Constructors title for a long while for McLaren. So that is absolutely awesome. That was such an enjoyable Grand Prix, and I just really, as I said, didn't expect it at all. That first 4 laps, insane. I really did mean it. I don't think I'll be able to do much better than that ever in an F1 2016 race. That was absolutely insane. But there you go, 70-point difference. Red Bull can't mathematically overhaul us now, so we are the Constructors World Champions for McLaren there. So we've got both titles in our second season. We've done a really stellar job there, if I do say so myself. So now we go through to the final race next time, guys, the finale at Abu Dhabi. So I'll see you guys then. But if you did enjoy the video, smash that like button for doing a P22 to P1 challenge successfully there. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And you're around to them, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. And join me next time at Abu Dhabi, where those 2 trophies on the right will finally be officially presented to us at the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the finale of Season 2. We'll see you guys then. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.